Hey, what's up, guys? Nate Sandell, 1500ESPN.com, Timberwolves beat reporter. I'm coming to you from the Target Center right after the Wolves beat the Thunder tonight, 181. And man, if you talk about some of the defensive lapses the Wolves had in the opener against Orlando, they were nowhere to be seen tonight. They dominated the Thunder tonight from the beginning of that game to the end of it. That lead growing as high as 34 points. And at that front of that defensive effort was Corey Brewer, just the new addition this year back in Minnesota after a 2-year absence. He was fantastic tonight from the beginning of the game, locking in on Kevin Durant and really not letting him find a rhythm at all. If you would have told me before the game that there would be a point where this lead would grow as the high as 34 points, I would have laughed at you. And especially the fact that Kevin Durant only had 13 points. That's the lowest he's scored since 2011, December 31st. That was against the Suns when he had 12 points. So for the Wolves to do that against the Thunder, it's pretty impressive. And again, this was a Thunder team that did not have Russell Westbrook. Obviously, that definitely changes the dynamic of things. But even so, to hold Durant to 13 points and to keep that lead as high as it was, that's a big step in the right direction for the Wolves. There was no lapses, no distinct lapses as we saw against the Magic. There was none of that tonight. And that was the key. In the third quarter, there was a moment where it seemed that the starting lineup was letting the Thunder get back into the game, but the lead never got down to under 16 in the second half. And Rick Adelman keeping his starters in there, letting them work it out, and they really did. And you could tell afterwards the guys in the locker room talked about how that really was the example of what they are capable of doing. I don't know personally if this team is capable of being even in the top 10 defensively in the NBA, but it did show what is possible, especially with this offense. It has the potential to be very high octane offense. They're going to score points. Defensively is where the questions lie, and tonight was an example of what the Wolves can do and do to teams, and they're going to win games that way if they play, if they can take this and bottle it up and keep moving forward with it. And that was what Rick Adelman's message was after the game. And Rick Adelman is a very even-keeled guy, but he was about as excited as Rick Adelman can get after a early season game, just talking about the effort he saw across the board, very consistent effort. And I think that was, again, like I said, a step in the right direction for this team. They now go on the road this weekend to go play New York, and then they move over to Cleveland to face the Cavaliers before coming home next week. Those will be two big tests for them, just to see if they can keep this consistent from game to game. That will be the key. A couple other points to address tonight. Ronnie Turiaf went down very, very hard in the first half. You could hear the thud on the opposite end of the court where the media was sitting. We were told that was a elbow contusion on his right elbow. He did not come back to the bench tonight. He's day-to-day. We haven't heard an update on his status. We'll be out at practice tomorrow. We'll get one tomorrow. But so stay tuned to Twitter, to 1500ESPN.com for that information. But really, that was the only other news to come out of tonight. Derek Williams getting his first minutes of the season. He's a guy that's been a hot button issue. His playing time comes in. Let me look here. Derek Williams was 10 points and 7 rebounds. He took some of Corey Brewer responsibility defending Kevin Durant and did a pretty good job there. So a strong night for Williams in relief. And so again, overall, 2 games into the season, this is the direction you want to see the Wolves headed. They're showing those glimmers, the potential that we've been talking about, all the hype that we've been giving, that people have been giving the Timberwolves throughout the offseason and throughout the preseason. It's starting to show that there is something to be said for it, that something could happen with that, and they just need to sustain that now. They'll get that chance again starting on Sunday at New York. So for 1500 this is 1500ESPN.com. I'm Nate Sandell. Stay tuned. We'll be back here at the Target Center next Wednesday. But until then, again, check 1500ESPN.com for your daily Wolves updates. Thanks for checking in, guys.